In 2015, Nintendo released Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo Wii U. Don't remember the Wii U? That's okay, it wasn't really that successful. Super Mario Maker, however, was actually very successful. That's because for the first time, anyone could create and fully customize their own Mario levels. But then in 2024, Nintendo deleted millions of levels. While this was obviously not ideal, because you couldn't transfer levels from Mario Maker 1 on the Wii U to Mario Maker 2 on the Nintendo Switch, both games had an interesting feature that allowed players to download their favorite levels. Despite the Wii U not being a portable console like the Switch, being able to play your favorite levels offline was still appealing, especially because you could open the levels up in the editor and see how people made these cool, innovative, and fun levels. So I found my Wii U, I charged it up, and I got to download it. After downloading 120 levels, I was still able to play them, even after the servers shut down. I also added a fun spin, because I'm chronically online. Beat each level, but the next one is random, and I can't skip levels. I have to beat the level before moving to the next one. The catch? I downloaded this level, U-Break, by one of the best Mario players out there, Pangeapanga. If the wheel landed on this level, the challenge would effectively be over. Because like I said, I can't skip. This level requires you to execute a series of very complicated and precise techniques, each one requiring hours of practice, but all of them have to be executed perfectly and in one shot. I would have to practice thousands of hours to be able to beat this level alone. Luckily, the first level was a classic, Claustrophobic Puzzle by Sean Hip 2. Sean became famous for making these innovative one-screen puzzle levels. Look, Mario just has to get over there. How hard could it be? Well, this level took me 2 hours to beat. Here's the level with some commentary explaining, step by step, how to beat the level. First thing we gotta do is hit this question mark block. Bomb comes out. When it explodes, it'll blow up some of the blocks around it. Jump on these turn blocks to press the P switch. Now we wait for the P switch to run out, because if we hit the question mark block right now, it'll actually trigger a chain reaction that blows up the bomb. We want to blow up the bomb here so we can clear a path to the Wiggler. Because if we use the shell right now to kill the Wiggler, we're going to run into some trouble later. We actually have to use the shell to hit this question mark block to release this bomb. Once we kill the Wiggler, we can go through here and hit the question mark block. Hitting the question mark block releases the Podoboo that lights the bomb and allows us to move to the right. Then we step on the skull platform. It'll move and drop the launcher. So we're able to free this mushroom, but we don't want to grab it right away. We actually have to get ahead of it, release these springs, get it while we're down here, take damage from the spikes, become small again, and then go through the door. This bomb doesn't have blocks around it anymore, so it walks onto the question mark block. We hit the question mark block to activate it, the bomb blows up, and we have new things that we can do. Like press that P switch, get the POW, and we can use the POW to kill this thwomp. This allows us to get across the bottom, and when the P-switch timer runs out, the block turns back into a coin, and we can get over here to free the Yoshi. So since Yoshi can walk on spikes, we're able to go through that same door for a second time, and we're able to grab fire using Yoshi's tongue, and shoot it across the level to blow up the bomb. Yoshi can grab an item and keep it in his mouth. So here I do this weird push strat to get Yoshi through this one block gap. And right here I'm just checking to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I hit the P switch one more time, because when I throw the POW it's going to destroy any coins. So I'm not too sure what coins I need. Right, so the P switch runs out and all the blocks turn back into coins. The reason we need Yoshi over here is because he can tongue and capture that spring. We can have Yoshi jump off the spring. Mario takes damage, loses the Yoshi, but he's able to go through the Boo, and we beat the level. With every spin of this wheel, the threat of U-break became more and more real. Fun fact, I've only ever seen most of these levels be played by other YouTubers and streamers on the internet. One of the levels in this list is Propeller Certification Course, and the first person I saw play it was Markiplier. And this is how I started to discover these Mario Maker streamers. While I was watching him crash out, a suggested video popped up on the side, and it was just sitting in the recommended section. This thumbnail stood out because it was the thumbnail of the claustrophobic puzzle, being played by a YouTuber I never heard of before, and a video that was over an hour long. That's how I found Carl Sagan 42, a microbiologist who also streamed on the weekends. And from there I found GrandPooBear, Ryukahr, the infamous Panga, and many others. This is important, because the next spin was 4-4 King Koopa's Crypt. And this level was part of a collaboration made toward the end of the Wii U's life cycle. A bunch of different creators worked together to create an entire Mario game, built completely inside of Mario Maker on the Wii U. So I downloaded all the levels. It's called Super Warp World, and consists of 16 levels plus 4 special levels. That might be important later, so make sure you watch to the end of this video. And here's the first cool part about this level. This set of wings floating right here. When Mario hits it, the wings fall off and it turns into a normal block. But if Mario leaves the room and comes back, pretty much everything respawns. We're gonna see another one of these wing blocks in a second. Right here on the left, we see the second set of wings flying away from this outline of a door. And that's where the block starts. So when Mario hits the wings off of this one and leaves, we come in here to hit this P switch that'll turn that door outline we saw earlier into a normal door that Mario can go through. That's where the winged block spawned from. Since Mario knocked off the wings, it's now a block that we can stand on. We can go through the door, and we have to go through these coins right before the P-switch turns them back into blocks. We saw those P-switches a lot in the claustrophobic puzzle. So right here we get this power-up. And right here, this is good level design. You get a checkpoint so we don't have to do the beginning part of the level again. And now we're gonna hit these POW blocks, which will clear a path by destroying some of these munchers. Here I actually miss getting up to the platform, but I'm able to recover. And right here, there's no ground. So you have to bounce on top of these winged dry bones to hit both POW blocks to clear the path. And now we get to this section, which I originally died on because I forgot how to get up. Right over here. But what we have to do is bounce on top of this wiggler, because we're going to lose all of our ground due to those cheap cheeps on fire. And boos will only move if Mario is looking away. And since Mario's slightly to the left of the boo, he's able to move and rise up diagonally toward Mario, allowing us to get up here. And once again with the great level design. When we go into this room, we see a nice little Easter egg, a little one-up. It doesn't really add much to the game, but it rewards exploring the level. Next up is another set of enemies stacked on top of each other. We saw it with the Boo and the Wiggler, and now we have a Muncher with an angry Wiggler. And so the idea is we have to go jump on the platform, hit the POW, which I miss, and then I die again. On a second attempt, we're able to get a little bit further. We hit the POW blocks, get on this next platform, but unfortunately I slide against the side of those spikes and die again, so third time's the charm. On this third attempt, I'm able to make it across all the platforms, and we can carefully bounce on this angry Wiggler as the chomp brings us to the end of this section. We go through the door. Thanks, Simon. And we're about to enter the last part of the level, the final boss battle. Now this is 4-4, and in most Mario games, the final level in each world is the big Bowser boss battle. And this level is no different. We grab the final checkpoint, and we get one last power-up to help us in our final battle against Bowser. Luckily, the second checkpoint was placed right before the final boss battle. So we come through and get the power up, and let's watch to see if we can beat Bowser this time to clear the level. Two levels down, so far so good. But I wasn't expecting this next spin. This was an iconic level that really showed what you could create in Mario Maker. Alright, so this is Super Mario vs. Mecha Bowzilla, and I'm going to try to talk fast and clearly to explain what's going on. Alright, here we go. So this opening shot, or scene, Mario is going through and there's this ominous music being played. And if we look, we see these boots, and they're following Mario. And it's supposed to look like a city. Like a giant monster is attacking the city. And here we go, we start the battle. So at the bottom we have these high-heeled boots with these Goombas inside of them. And so the Goombas inside of them make it so that they have to follow Mario, and the high-heeled boots will hop. And they hop the same amount every time. On top of that, we have these red cannon launchers as the legs. Two sets of them stacked on top. They don't move by themselves, but because they're on top of the red boots, they move along with them. And then we got this other contraption on top with the arms, these winged chain chomps as the arms, and you see you got Bowser Jr. in there with some spinies as shoulders and a helmet. But okay, so by going in this green pipe, now we're actually almost like the Magic School Bus, we're going inside. So everything was themed with red, right? So these cannons all stacked across, they're supposed to be his legs, right? And this is sort of like the pelvic joint. And it's a little platforming section. You can die, you have to start over, and then we go around this set of gears on these tracks, and we hit this P switch, and it releases the legs. And so now we have to get back. But I didn't know that, so I died. Or I didn't know where we were supposed to go, so I died. But yeah, hitting the P switch drops both sets of legs, and that allows us to go into the next section of this level. It's a little platforming. Gotta make this jump. And we hit a P switch, so it's gonna run out. And we've seen this already, those blocks down there, they turn back into coins. Okay, so we go through here, and now it kind of shows the boots falling in the lava. Now, I'm not too sure, I'd have to look at it in the editor, but this may be a different build. But now we have these burners facing down, and it kind of simulates that Mecha Bowzilla, Bowser Jr. is flying. But he's not. The burners are sitting on these tracks that are moving him forward. Right, he's not really like focused on Mario, he's just kind of going through here. And then I die. Because the arms are still winged chain chomps. Alright. So we got a checkpoint. And so that means now whenever we die, which we did die a few times, we get to restart there. And this level has like these Easter eggs in them, right? There's this key door. I don't know where there was a key. Maybe I gotta go back and explore this level again. But now we have another P switch. Again, turning those blocks, and actually sort of traps him. And now we have another pipe setup, right? These two green pipes kind of simulate going inside of Mecha Bowzilla again. And everything fits the theme, right? So these like inside sections have a lot of spikes and have tracks. And these like spiky gears. And we see right here I die again. But it's a really fair level, right? Notice how we come back in and we automatically start with a mushroom, right? Which means Mario can get hit twice. We saw that before with the Super Warp World level. So just great level design. And this one's kind of telling a story because now when we get to here, we see his heart, right? We're inside of the body. Before we were inside of the legs, now we're inside of the body. Hit the P switch, disconnect his heart. Right. So first we got rid of the legs. Now we're getting rid of the body. All that's left. Right, we see the body portion explodes. Now we kind of just have the top portion, right? Like the head. And it's in a clown car, a fire clown car. Still got to worry about the fireballs and the chain chomps. It kind of just tells that story. And this whole level, these outside portions, it's called an auto-scroller, right? So the level is moving to the right and Mario kind of has to keep up. And actually I think in this section I sort of broke it because he's supposed to come back and he's supposed to get stuck in between those one-way gates with the arrows. But he doesn't. I think he like despawned off screen, right? I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? So then I go in. And now we have the final boss battle, right? So now this is sort of like the control center. And we have Bowser Jr. in here. And what we have to do is we have to get this red shell and almost like skee ball it into a little gap. And now we got all of this noise going on, right? This is to simulate that like the mech is failing, red alert, and it's created by these music blocks that these spinies are bouncing off of, and it's off screen now, but we'll see it again in a second. There's a little star. Every time an item or an enemy bounces off a music block, it can create a sound. It can create a little note. And the note changes depending on where the block is positioned. If the block is higher up, it'll create a higher pitch. And so there are a series of like music levels that have been made, where as Mario plays the level, like a song is played simply by having this like phenomenon with these items bouncing off of music blocks. But we finally get them, and peace has been restored. I knew the probability of landing on U-Break increased with every level I played and every level I beat. But I was also rebuilding some muscle memory. Most of these levels were from over a decade ago. And then something unexpected happened. Another Super Warp World level. But this one was a little different. It came from the special world I mentioned earlier. And it was hard. Here's the interesting tech. It's called a P-switch jump. If you land on a P-switch and Mario is falling faster than the switch is falling, the game thinks you're on solid ground for a split second. And in that moment, Mario can jump again, even while he's in the air. But for this one, you needed speed. And I was very, very, very inconsistent. I was so worried about landing on U-Break. Was I worried about the wrong level this whole time? If only there was a smart guy out there named after a scientist who could help me. If only there was a college class I could take to improve my skills. Next time, I'm going back to college.